This is the Chab Dog Sports Talk Show. We're ADHD hosts that are OCD about our sports. Host Brandon Chabner brings you Eric the Well-Read, Frank the Tank, and Boston Mark for sports talk that's breaking news everywhere else. Now here's your host, Brandon Chabner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs, and by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. All right, well, this is our first show of June, and it's the We're Not Through with 1972 show. We're going to go back to 1972 and cover that pretty extensively. In addition to talking about what's going on in the world of sports, I got my co-host Eric Silva here. How are you, Eric?
Hey, Chab Dog. Enjoying a beautiful Southern California sunny Sunday morning at 68 degrees.
I know.
Forward to a wonderful sunny day today.
It's
73 at the beach.
Weather's been spectacular, as it usually is. June in Newport Beach is probably better than June in Manhattan Beach. Is often in the morning starts off gray.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, where this is
you get the June gloom.
June gloom
burns off.
We get that the same way, but once it burns off, the afternoons and the sunsets are just fantastic.
Yeah, and they've opened the beaches up and everything.
Oh yeah, beaches are open, the parking lots are open. You know, there's the signs up saying for what motionary use, however they phrase it, but
active use.
Active use, yes, but everyone's ignoring that.
You still have that active use thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a pointless restriction.
Yeah, I mean, they must just take the signs down and burn them because it's being completely ignored.
They haven't been fining people or arresting people for that, huh?
Oh, good heavens. They're not even talking to people about it anymore. It's like, yeah, whatever.
What are you going to do on the beach but lie on the towel?
Yes.
And maybe go in the water, so... Yeah.
Yep, so things are slowly getting back to normal. In fact, you had a wonderful Chab Dog event, life event.
I did.
On Friday there.
I got to go to a graduation, yeah.
You went to a graduation, your son's graduation. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's just, it kind of made me emotional in the beginning when we had to drive, it was like driving through, and because of the social distancing and everything, they couldn't have the normal ceremony with people sitting there in the crowd and all the kids walking up and getting their diplomas and being together.
Yeah, so I thought they had a really clever solution.
So we had to drive through, yeah.
It was a drive-through.
Yeah.
But Ben didn't drive through. You drove up, he got out of the car, he walked up.
Right.
He got his diploma, and then came back and then hopped in the car, and you guys moved on, right?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
But other people in the other cars that were there cheered for him, and that was nice. And we did the same for the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a very nice program the night before. Was like a Zoom thing, and a bunch of people from the school presented, and all the other families dialed in on the Zoom. Mm-hmm. So it was like a graduation program, and so it's just a lot different than obviously most of us are used to.
Well, than anyone is, but at least I'm pleased to hear that it was recognized.
Oh, well, I have to.
Yes, of course. And that an appropriate way was done to.
Yeah, my son doesn't complain. He's grateful, but
Ben's a great guy.
Yeah, but I get the sense the kids are really they're dealing with it, even though it's a very hard thing.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's
losing
not fair
that last half year of school, the last half year of your high school,
and the privileges that come with that. Yes,
but I don't even know if they had yearbooks. Like we had yearbooks. Obviously, you had yearbooks, right?
Oh yeah. Well, oh yeah, did they get a yearbook?
I don't think so.
Gee, never even thought of that.
And, and you walk around and have everybody sign your yearbook and
Yeah, of course.
write things in there. That's really
Well, did he get prom?
no.
Yeah, so it's like they've been robbed.
Yeah,
They've been totally robbed.
So this will be over soon. I think it seems like that virus is.
I'll put it this way: I'll give them a mulligan on that. They want to have their prom in October. That's fine. I'd do it.
They're all going to be at college though.
Well, okay, we'll figure out something.
You
Maybe
really,
on the Wednesday night. When
you really want to have the prom, don't you?
On the Wednesday night when they come home from Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
What's that?
Everyone goes home for that Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Right.
So you have the prom then.
Yeah, but most of those people aren't going to be that into to go into the prom with the the person they thought they'd go with.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it'll just be it'll just be a giant party.
You're right. Well, maybe we can have it in August then, or maybe. Well, apparently it's okay to go out there and protest and Molotov cocktail and such, but it's not okay to prom. I call it a double standard here. This is nonsense. Because this was a week of protests, of course. I mean, last week it was happening as
we've had how much? We've had 10 days now or 11 days. We're on the 11th day after this has happened, and when is it
polite demonstrations? Stop? Well, I think the violence has stopped most part. The looting has stopped for the most part because of the threats that the president made to move in the military and shut everything down. Thankfully, didn't have to do that, but it did restore some order. It got some mayors and some.
You like to think it's all out of everybody's. The looting and pillaging is out of everybody's system.
I sure hope so. I mean, our insurance rates are going to go crazy now for the next few years because of this. We're all going to pay for it. In every form of insurance we buy.
I don't want to think of that. Jeez.
I don't either, but that's reality. Sorry.
I don't know if life insurance is going up.
Of course it is. If more people die, if the mortality rate has changed.
Commercial and property.
That means they're paying out more in claims. If they're paying out more in claims, that means premiums go up. So yes, in fact, it is changing the mortality tables.
I don't know. It's giving me a headache. I can't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
let's talk sports.
Let's talk sports. Yeah, I think there's rumors that there's going to be an NBA.
Rumors. It's past that stage, and now we know why Disney was involved. They're doing the whole thing at Disney World.
Is it clear how the NBA thing's going to work?
As far as the conferences are gone. So did you see my prediction as to who's going to play whom in the final?
You said Lakers Clippers.
Correct. And the only reason that's possible.
Explain it. Gone. Why are the conferences gone?
Because the seeding is based on record.
So they're going to take what, the top 16 teams,
something like that.
And is it frozen in time based on when the play got stopped, or are they going to play any additional?
That part they have it figured out. I just don't know what.
So where's Tank? Is he not calling in?
I don't know. Yeah, he asked for the phone number and I gave it to him.
I don't see him on. He could explain the NBA situation more.
Let me check Messenger here and see.
Or we could just look it up.
Yeah. Or we could just look it up. That means I have to read. That means I
haven't memorized it. Just with everything going on.
Well, anyway, they're going to work out some. But here's the other. Okay, I'll tell you what I do know. Is that they're all going to have a draft for the hotels for who gets what location, because they're on the big Disney World site there. You been to Disney World before?
Disney World, no.
It's in Orlando?
Yeah, I don't think so. Or maybe I went once and I just really don't remember it too well.
It's nothing like Disneyland. It's massive. It's like acres and upon acres upon acres upon acres of hotels. Mm-hmm. And so they're all, and some of, they have like 5-star hotels and they have 3-star hotels and then they have campgrounds. And so that they're going to be dibs. The teams are going to have to fight over who gets the best hotels and who's going to get the shit hotels. There's going to be competition for that. There's going to be competition for who gets who's Mickey. If Mickey Mouse is going to be sitting at their breakfast table, and who's going to get Snow White, and who's going to get the characters to hang out with them.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah,
that's very important.
And then they're going to be like televised pool parties. So they're all going to be hanging out on campus there, and they're all going to be like tested every day, and they've worked out all the details.
Well, I did look it up. So it's starting. It's July 31st is the tentative start date.
Yeah.
Oh, the finals would end no later than October 12th.
Mm-hmm.
A total of 22 teams would return.
Yeah.
22. It says there's an Eastern Conference here.
Oh, 22. Okay. My understanding was the conferences, they're not going to use the conferences for seeding.
The returning teams are the 16 teams in the current playoff positions and the 6 teams that are currently 6 or fewer behind the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So they are giving some other people. Did Frank call in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Perfect timing.
Hi, Frank. This is Frank Fleming from Sports Encyclopedia. How are you, Frank?
Don't ask.
That good, huh?
Oh, wow. That's better than I thought.
Come on, Frank. You gotta lighten up. You're now gonna have the pleasure of discussing all manner of sports with us and politics, and we are gonna go back in time
To 1972.
to 1972.
Dolphins, perfect year.
3 years before you were born, right?
3 years before I was born, yeah.
Yeah. Talking football. This was the year that the Dolphins got to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win.
In January.
Yeah.
Yep.
We wanted to know. We wanted to know what happened in that game because it wasn't even close. It was 24-3.
What it was the Cowboys were finally due. They finally, after all those years of coming close, finally just like went out there, played a great game, and the Dolphins were kind of caught up by the awe of the specter, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We got a clip here from the 1972 Super Bowl highlights, and I want you to listen to it. I know you're going to love this because it's because the guy doing the commentary. You get that, Eric?
I'm looking for it here. Boy, we got a lot of stuff up this way.
It's later. It's toward the end.
There we are. It's Bruins, NBA. Here we are.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Super Bowl VI recap.
The Cowboys never had trouble getting to the big games.
You know this voice.
Was always the problem. In Super Bowl VI, they faced an up-and-coming team, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins defense was built on speed and pursuit, and those traits were personified by Nick Bonaconte, their middle linebacker.
Look at those sideburns.
The Cowboys' strategy was to take his best assets
Tom
and
Landry
convert them into liabilities.
He's tough, he's strong, he's got great recognition and great lateral movement. He'll really go after the play. Therefore, we have to control him.
The film work paid off. Dwayne Thomas led the Cowboys with 95 yards rushing. As a team, they piled up a record 252 yards on the ground. The Cowboys disguised their runs and had Bonaconte, number 85, going the wrong way all day. Dallas moved the ball effortlessly and gave ground reluctantly. Miami managed 3 points. For the only time in Super Bowl history, a team was held without a touchdown. For Bob Lilly, the Cowboy who had endured the most hardship, it was his finest hour. Number 74 authored the game's signature play.
I remember this. He chased him so far back. The quarterback just kept going backwards.
Number 12. Who's that quarterback?
Roger Staubach.
No, number 12. Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins.
Early in the fourth quarter, the Cowboys had a 3-touchdown lead.
I don't know.
Who's the quarterback there, Tank?
For the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Is it Earl Morrall?
Number 12?
No, it was Greasy in that game.
That's Greasy?
Greasy. That's right. Greasy was 12.
Running back.
Greasy was 12 also. Yeah. That's a look. Think about how many good quarterbacks have worn 12.
TB12.
Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is 12.
Tech? Aaron Rodgers 12? Yeah.
God.
And then have you seen the graffiti? You guys familiar with the graffiti? F word 12? Tech?
I've seen that painted on buildings, right?
Yeah, that was.
Is that some Black Lives Matter
this
stuff?
Country is over. We're about to become. It's not going to end until we're marching to the gas chambers.
Yeah, Tank, actually, your prophecy of martial law by June 15th is coming very close. I got to admit.
Well, I think we avoided that.
Well, it's June 15th hasn't happened yet, and we're still lingering.
I mean, what could possibly happen in the next 8 days?
Well, look at everything that's happened to now. I couldn't figure that out when Tank said by June 15th we'll be under martial law. And Tank, you did say that. Remember?
Unless somebody else gets killed or something, I don't think.
It just gets worse every day.
Have they banned meat in New Jersey yet? Can you still get a steak?
It's coming. It's coming.
Do you see less cold cuts? Like I've noticed here, there actually is less meat in my meat department, and what's there is more expensive than what was there a month ago. I know. Do you see that in New Jersey?
That's the first step.
Uh-huh.
What did you post? You posted something on Facebook about social services or something in New Jersey?
No, I didn't. Don't think I did that. But
I saw something about.
It's just awful. It is truly awful.
Which part of it, Tank?
Everything.
Can we narrow it down to anything, or it's everything?
Every fucking thing sucks.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing good. Anything that's good is banned. Anything that's awful is being shoved down your throat, and pretty soon we'll be paying 50% of our taxes.
Oh yeah, that trillion's got to come from somewhere.
Our jobs too.
Taxes are going up. There's no doubt about that.
In which case, we'll have to serve as an indentured servant.
Well, we kind of already were, but it's just going to be more pronounced.
Except you know what's going to happen? They're also going to make
And if we speak up, we don't have the right to speak, and we can be whipped and chained. And if we don't accept it, then we're gonna have next year we're gonna have re-education camps led by Jane Elliott.
Next year, dude, it's happening right now. Yeah. Didn't you just see Drew Brees go through re-education camp? It was like a virtual re-education camp. It happened like a flash re-education camp. You know, one moment he's saying something, he's sticking to a point. The next moment he's apologizing.
He backed off of that thing like faster than you can.
He did a 180. Talk about re-education camp, man. He got religion real fast there.
Somebody must have taken him aside and said, "These guys that are blocking for you, you better be careful.
Yeah,
they're not going to block for you anymore."
Yeah, they got the blue flu. They're going to walk out.
We are now second-class citizens. If we're lucky, we might even be like fifth-class citizens.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it can seem like that. And Tank, you weren't old enough to know we've gone through this once before. I've seen this once before in my lifetime. But we came out of it. We'll come out of it again.
Yeah, but we're gonna have slave reparations now?
No, that's not gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
What?
Dude, just because they're talking about it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Let them talk. They'll talk themselves out, and it'll disappear.
NBC says if you oppose slave reparations, you should go to jail. NBC News 1, 2, 3. NBC News, all that matters to me.
Well, of course she's going to say that. It's an election year, and it plays into her whole electorate.
WNBC.
People were chanting yesterday, freedom's overrated. March it now! Give us now!
Well, in 1972, Nixon used the term the silent majority, And remember, we still are. It may not seem like we are. It may seem like we're outnumbered.
Silent.
What's that?
Quinnipiac got 80%. 80. Biden's going to get 85%. All the Republicans are going to lose the Senate. There's going to be 375 Democrats in the Congress.
Oh no, not only if there's election fraud. No, the Republicans are going to win the House. They're going to win the Senate. They're going to win the presidency.
Wow, we have two different political.
Your governor is going to
predictions
allow
here.
people to have dual residency in California and Texas, so they can vote twice.
Well,
And Biden's going to win Texas.
he allows that already. That's not going to allow. It's already.
Bush is going to campaign for Biden. The New World Order is here. It's over. Freedom is dead. America is dead.
I wouldn't be so quick to give it
So
up yet.
the baseball is dead. There's not going to be baseball.
Yeah,
Everything's horrible.
that's looking
NFL
really
season
strong.
will be
Wait,
canceled, too.
why won't there? So there won't be baseball at all this
It's
year.
not looking likely right now, and I'm seriously right, Tank.
That's because the greedy players and the greedy
greedy
owners
owners.
can't get their asses together and decide on something.
No, Rob Manfred was put in to destroy the sport.
Well, fuck it. I can go without baseball this year. Then it won't kill me. So maybe we will see basketball. Well, apparently,
Yeah,
they've
from
got
Disneyland
that,
or Disney World. Yeah,
They're
from Orlando.
allowed to walk.
What's that?
They're going to put blocks on people's TVs soon. And the only thing that people can watch is Rachel Maddow on The View.
No, come on.
Didn't she retire?
And so explain the basketball. It's going to be the top 16 teams playing just some kind of elimination tournament.
22.
22.
There's going to be some sort of play-in, too.
Okay, so 22 on a play-in.
Oh, so that, and then it'll just be, how many games will they play?
There's going to be like an 8-game regular season, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, there'll be a regular.
I don't know about the play-in the rest of the way, but
So
life is hell.
So there will be a finish to the regular season, and then the playoffs start, and the top 16 teams make it
So the Knicks still can't get in.
Yeah.
The Knicks wanted the 22.
No,
yeah,
Knicks.
that's kind of good. They got rid of some of the riffraff, some of the real sketchy teams that we don't need to hear about.
Oh, poor Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh well.
No T-Wolves, no Knicks. At least I don't know who the last 5 teams are that got in, but and then hockey will do something, right?
Yeah, hockey's going to do 24 teams.
Yep.
Oh.
When do they start? Do they start earlier than July 31st?
I don't know. That's been kind of up in the air.
Yeah. Because July 31st, man, that's still so far out. I mean, why are you waiting so long? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna. They gotta have a break.
Find a way to cancel it. We are now prison planet. It's over. Everything is horrible. Everything is terrible. Life sucks, and all you're going to get every day is coronavirus commercials. Coronavirus. We're in it together, and then Brian telling you that you fucking
We're in it
suck.
together. I love
Get on
that.
your knees and give up your privilege.
Well, it may seem like that, Tank, but that's because you live in New Jersey, and that's all you see in New Jersey, but that's not what it looks like in the rest of the nation.
No.
No, that's not. America is dead. America is dead.
No, that's not true. It just looks that way in New Jersey.
When it comes to people's property,
We have to
too,
keep pulling him
on the
back. You know?
farm, it's over.
No, Tank, that's New Jersey. It's not that bad.
It is that bad.
No.
And then we are getting football back, so
Yep.
you got
Football's
that
coming
to
on
look
full
forward
steam.
to.
It's on schedule, and it's not stopping.
Yes, but Roger Goodell has made clear
The
that
protests have shown.
he's going to make up for past transgressions.
Oh, my goodness, Tank. Okay. Tank, will you explain to Chabdog what a cuckold is? Do you know the definition?
Yes, I do.
Well, I told you what it was.
No, I want Tank to explain it to you, because
Oh.
you'll have some nuances there. That
Well,
you didn't
so
really pick
explain
up.
it to me, please.
It's basically someone's coming home and fucking your wife, and you're okay with it because you're such a fucking pussy.
Yeah, you just sort of begrudgingly accept it.
Yeah,
You have to watch it.
You're just a helpless, abused husband.
Well, she's going to do it anyway.
I remember there was a column written by a guy talking about there was a cuckold, and he said, "I'm okay with being a cuckold because my wife," and it's a white guy that said this, "because my wife is with a black man, and it shows that she loves all the people, and that I hope that he fathers the child because I don't want a pure white baby anyway."
Well, and legally, the black guy would be the one who would be, 18 years of child support because he'd be the
real father.
Real father. So yeah, that guy's actually pretty smart.
Well, that explains the modern white man. That's the modern white man. It's over. This country is fucking over. For all these fucking years of just fucking brainwashed fucking. Everyone gets a fucking trophy. Everyone. It's fucking. This country is so fucking over. Let the fucking asteroid hit the fucking Earth. At this point, I'm rooting for the fucking asteroid.
Oh, Tank. Poor Tank. He's been with us sports so long.
So, you don't remember 1972, but there were some good things that happened there. That was the...
it was a leap year.
Yeah, it was an extra long year, right?
Yeah, and in fact, it was the longest year we've ever had because not only did it have the extra day, they also inserted 2 additional seconds into the timeline in order to keep the calendar, in fit with the sun.
We had a great World Series
that year. Mark Spitz.
Oh, Munich.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had terrorist activities there when the
that was awful.
Were they Palestinians?
You know what's funny
Black September.
Black September. Yeah.
You know what's funny is Mark Spitz didn't stay for the in the Olympics, and the swimming events are always in the first week.
Yeah.
So he's on a plane coming home while all the terrorism's going on, and he gets off the plane. And back then, of course, there's no news on the plane.
No.
So it's not like today.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked Eric Spitz about what do you think about what happened in Munich? He says, "Oh, it's wonderful. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened." And he says, "Well, I didn't know I was in the air."
Yeah. So he went on for like a minute about how great things were.
Woke fucking generation that has fucking ruined, destroyed, and killed this country.
Well, it has the danger of doing those things, but it hasn't yet. Frank, are you familiar with the Cultural Revolution? Do you know what that means?
It's over. And we're going to have to get on our knees. We're going to have to bow before our leaders.
No, we're not. We don't have to bow before President Trump. I'm not bowing before the president. Come
on. Mark would love this. The head of the Boston Police Department was on his stomach, bowing before the protesters.
He wasn't on his knee. He was on his. Was he doing the worm?
I saw some of that. I saw some stuff like that.
Tank, was he doing the worm?
So they're going to defund the police. They're going to be basically. From what I understand, the plan is to have the Bloods and Crips actually patrol, which is going to be a lot of fun, They're so.
Yeah, that was Mayor Garcetti did announce he's going to take $150 million from the LA Police Department and divide it up between the Bloods and the Crips for a private security contract, and it's going through Maxine Waters.
I mean, you cannot make this fucking shit up. What the fuck is going on? It's like we're in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yes. It is. Things look very disorganized, don't they? And it did. This is a lot how it looked in 1972. It was 72, 73, 74 were 3 years that really sucked to live through in our history. And boy, it feels the same way again. Just the way the attitude, this way you're describing it, is what I've already lived through and what we're doing again. It's not pleasant, is it? It took until
you had sports in those years.
72 was the
fucking
beginning of a
Everything's
period.
fucking over.
Yes, 72 was a beginning of a period that really it sucked until 1981. And why 81? Because that's when Reagan was inaugurated. So it was like 9 years of American
what do you think?
suckitude.
Well, we had good music.
Reagan's out there.
Did them.
Ronald Reagan's gone.
Good
I
sports.
mean, who's going to be the Republican nominee in 2024? It's probably going to be a fucking grab your knees rhino like fucking kid like fucking Mitt Romney again. Who's just going to go, you don't need to vote for me. He's good. It doesn't matter.
Well, Romney's a loser, the president told me. Oh, speaking of the president, I've got he did a speech just on May 30th, and in an 8-minute period, he said the word China 28 times. Check this out.
China, China's China, 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 China. China, China's China's China, 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 China's China, 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 China.
Almost sounds like vagina after a while, doesn't it?
Who's going to be our leaders?
Vagina.
Who's going to be our overseers, our overlord? China, China, China,
China.
China, China. China,
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 China's China, 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 China,
China.
No, this is stopping that, actually. This is the end of that.
All right. Well, do you have any perspectives on 1972's the World Series? Did you check?
Oh, it was a good World Series that year.
Yeah.
Won 7 games.
7
Gene
games.
Tennis was the MVP. The A's were actually without Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson got hurt in the
So they won it basically without him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jackson won the series, and Gene Tennis had like this great series, and that ended up being the difference.
Yeah, they won a lot.
They have won 3 of the 4
won a lot of
games
games
played
in
in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They won 3 of the 4 games played in Cincinnati.
Yeah. That was Kirk Gowdy there. I remember that vaguely. I was pretty young. I was 7 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember
6
that
years
at all.
old.
I wasn't watching it.
But
This masked bozo.
the A's won the series. It was the first of 3 in a row they won too.
Right. They beat the Mets in 73, and then they beat the Dodgers in 74.
Mm-hmm.
And the A's were, that's hard to do to win 3 in a row.
It was a wild World Series. There was the Mike Andrews situation.
Oh, what was that all about? I forgot.
In Game 2, which the Mets won in extra innings, Mike Andrews committed an error, which caused the Mets to win. And Finley wanted Andrews taken off the team right in the World Series, and he had Andrews basically signed a letter that I'm mentally unable to play.
He was forced by Finley?
Yeah. So they could replace him, and the commissioner didn't allow it, saying that no, that's not. You can't play games like that. And it's like some of the players became resentful. There was almost like a mutiny on him. Dick Williams supported Andrews, and that eventually caused a rift that led him to resign after the World Series. The Yankees actually tried to hire Dick Williams, but the A's wouldn't allow him to go to the Yankees. The Yankees actually hired Williams, and then the commissioner ruled that he couldn't go to the Yankees. And then eventually Finley let him go manage the Angels.
Who's the commissioner then?
Bowie Kuhn?
Is it Bowie Kuhn?
Bowie Kuhn, yeah.
Wow.
Well, why couldn't the Yankees pick him up?
Because Finley said that he's still under contract.
Okay. Interesting.
But I don't think he made a similar type move when they, or something got worked out where he was allowed to go to the Angels.
So, And who took over as the manager of the A's after Dick Williams left?
Alvin Dark was their manager in '74.
Alvin Dark. Yes. I remember that. I remember that name. Yeah, I think he was a pitcher for the Giants, wasn't he? Or played for the Giants? He was a player.
Well, he managed the Giants.
Or is he just a manager of the Giants?
I know he managed the Giants at one point. He might have played for them. I don't know off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
All right.
Brian. Hey,
I
Brian.
just stepped in. I found Alvin Dark as you were talking.
Yeah. Enlighten us on Alvin Dark.
289 batting average, 2,089 hits.
Oh, so he had a pretty
26 homers.
He had a pretty good career, 2,000 hits.
He was a decent player. Yeah.
What did he?
Only 757 RBIs, but
Who did he play for? The Giants?
I guess that would be his prime. The old Braves, then the Giants, the Cardinals, Cubs.
So he was all
He
over.
bounced around.
Yeah.
He was primarily the Giants was his best year. I think about 7 years there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about the 72 World Series and how the A's were able to handle the Reds without most of the series without Reggie Jackson, which was surprising.
No, he was at the World Series. He actually got injured against the Tigers in the division series.
So he was just not even around.
Not the ALCS.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the year that the Red Sox just barely missed the playoffs, I think.
The Red Sox got fucked over in '72.
Yeah,
Really?
what was the story behind that?
There was a strike at the beginning of the season. And basically, all the games that were canceled due to strike were not made up. And it depended on some teams, so not everyone played the same amount of games. Because the strike games were just thrown out. Even though the strike only lasted 2 weeks, you could have somehow sprinkled in getting the games at double headers. Baseball, I guess, some things never changed. Didn't want to
Yeah, it shortened the season. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So it shortened it into 2 months. The strike only lasted the strike started on April 1st and ended April 16th, something like that. But any of those early season games are canceled. So the Red Sox played one less game than the Tigers and only finished a half game back.
Yeah.
And
They had the same amount of losses.
They couldn't make that
Red
game
Sox
up.
won 85 games. Red Sox won 85. The Tigers won 86. They both lost 70.
That's just not fair. How can you do that to the Red Sox? Not give them a chance to make up that.
Was there a vendetta or something against them that year? Did they do something wrong?
Was that
a hard
So,
shot?
like I said, it was
No, but Frank.
only about a handful of games. They could have put these games in there so everyone could play 162.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox got really screwed.
Well, Frank, was this the year that the Red Sox lost an important game because wasn't there one where Aparicio fell down or something, going around third?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. During the strike, the Mets lost their manager.
Hey, boy. No. You look just like a hog. No. You look just like a hog. Come here, Biggie. No. Come here, Biggie. Biggie. Come on. Go,
Yeah,
Biggie.
and this is
Go,
the year that
Biggie. Go, Biggie. Give me a rap.
Ned
All
Beatty
right.
lost his virginity
Hey, boy, get up and give me a rap.
in Deliverance.
All right. Get up and give me a rap, boy. All right. All right. Get up. All right. Get up.
Squeal like a pig. Wee!
No.
Wee!
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot all about that Red Sox thing. They just didn't even make that season up.
You know, during the strike, the Mets lost their manager.
We got us a sow here instead of a boy.
Casey
When the
Stengel.
Texas Rangers became, the Texas Rangers.
The
when
Senator,
Washington moved to
the
Texas.
Senators became the Rangers.
Well, that was the Rangers last year 7-1. But the Rangers won games after the strike, yeah.
Get down there, boy. Them britches down. There. You get better than that, boy. You get better than that. Come on, squeal. Squeal.
Nice teeth. You got a purty mouth. Then he gets shot with the arrow, right? Is it right now? Is this where he says you got a purty mouth? Then he sees Lewis. Oh, they're just pulling up. The damage is done, and now he's. So now it gets good. What? I don't know that term. And made a point not to know that. He had John Voight was chained to a tree, and now they let him go.
What you want to do with it?
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?
That's the truth.
Here comes the arrow.
You're going to do some praying for me, boy. And you better pray good.
Shoot him already.
Hold that on.
I think that did it.
You better run, you son of a bitch!
Yeah. Well, that was one of the top movies in 1972, Deliverance.
You know, during the strike that I was talking about,
Yeah.
the Mets lost their manager.
Mm-hmm. So
Bill Hodges had a heart attack playing golf during the strike.
who is the manager?
Gil Hodges had a heart attack
Gil Hodges.
and died
Oh,
during the
yeah.
strike.
Yeah. So who replaced him? Was that did Casey Stengel take over?
No, Casey Stengel was the first manager of the Mets.
Oh, he's long
Yogi
gone.
Berra actually took over for the. He took over after Hodges
Yogi
died.
Berra. How long did he last as manager there?
Yogi Berra was the manager until 75. He actually took the Mets to the 73 World Series.
Wow, so he had success. Did you don't remember, I mean, you were too young. You weren't even alive then, so none of us really remember what it was like having Yogi as a day-to-day manager. I'm just curious to see.
I remember he managed the Yankees in 84 and 85. Well, 18 games in '85, actually.
He must have been kind of quiet, right?
Denver fired him in April of '85.
He probably didn't say much, did he?
Yogi Berra was so mad at getting fired, he didn't come back to Yankee Stadium for 13 years.
Yes.
He held a grudge that long. No, 14 years. It took him 14 years to return to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
99, he didn't return.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
And that's when and the only reason he ever returned to Yankee Stadium is Yogi Berra has a museum on Montclair State campus. And George Steinbrenner gave him some Yankee things to put on display at the museum, including World Series trophies. And that's what got Yogi Berra to come back to Yankee Stadium.
Well, he managed the Yankees at a time when the Yankees were not that good, were they? It was the mid '80s.
Well, '85, they actually won 97 games. Billy Martin took over the rest of the way, and they almost won the division. And they just got off to like a 6-12 start, and they acquired Ricky Henderson in the offseason. And Ricky Henderson actually began the season. He missed 15. He was only on the table for 2 weeks early in the season, and basically, Yogi Berra never got a chance to manage Henderson, and that pissed him off because supposedly Henderson wanted Billy Martin to be the manager, and they kind of pushed him out. It was very messy. It was George at his worst.
Mm-hmm.
In '80, while managing the Mets in '73, it's famous that Tug McGraw shouted, "You got to believe," when the owner was talking to the team. They were in last place at the end of August. The whole division stunk that year. The Mets won the division with a record of 82 and 79. So the whole division stunk that year.
Yeah, that's one.
So at one point, they went up to Yogi Berra when the Mets were struggling. He says, "Well, it's not over until it's over." He actually said that famous quote as manager of the Mets. It ain't over till it's over.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes a lot of sense now.
Mm-hmm. And they very nearly took it all the way. They lost to the A's in 7, didn't they?
Yeah, they went back to Oakland up 3-2, and they just couldn't get that win. They lost game 6 and 7.
Yeah, the whole year it's kind of with smoke and mirrors. They had Tom Seaver. They had some. Jerry Kuzman was a good pitcher for them, right? And then
a lot of it was that year. Very weak lineup.
They had Rusty Staub, right?
Yeah, Rusty Staub was their basically their whole offense that year.
And they had Cleon Jones. I remember that name. Cleon Jones.
They had a center fielder too, who was washed up and fell on his face during the World Series.
Who was that?
Willie Mays.
Oh, Willie Mays was in that World Series. That was the very end of Willie Mays.
That was the end of his career. He didn't. The final game Willie Mays ever played was in the '73 World Series.
And he didn't have a good World Series, or did he?
No, he didn't.
And he had
kind of embarrassed himself there.
Yeah. What other hitters did you have? Did you have Bobby?
He had a play that was hit directly at him, and he turned the wrong way and he fell on his face.
Well, he still finished with great numbers. And then the other thing that happened in '72 was Wilt Chamberlain finally won with the Lakers, right? They beat the Knicks.
Yep, the Lakers had that 33-game winning streak.
Oh, yeah.
He had to get the curse off his team.
Right.
And that was Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor retired. He played a few games at the start of the season, retired, and as soon as he retired, he had that 33-game winning streak.
So they could have had Elgin Baylor if he hadn't retired. He could have been on that team too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he gave him a ring because he was there for like a couple of games, and then said that he had injuries and he was supposed to retire. But you want to talk about cursed? Elgin Baylor lost the NBA Finals like 10 times. 0-10 in the NBA Finals.
Well,
Some ridiculous number like that.
he just had a bad luck of running into the Celtics all the time.
Elgin Baylor was there in '59, the first year when they were in Minneapolis. He was a rookie year that year. He lost. Then he lost in 61, 62, 63, 65, 66, 68, 69, 70. I mean, it's just crazy. All those years, the Lakers lost in the NBA Finals, usually to the Celtics.
Yeah, but he's one of the biggest losers of all time in terms of the finals.
Oh, he's the biggest loser of all time in terms of the finals.
What was it about his game that people? I mean, he was just, I guess, a major scorer, right?
Yeah, he was a major scorer. I don't think he played defense too much.
Yeah. But that's enough to get you into the Hall of Fame if you're...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good individual numbers, but he just could never win the big one.
Well, they finally did in 72 against the Knicks. I guess the Knicks had the...
That 33-game winning streak was a big deal down here, Southern California. So.
Now, you know what's funny is the Lakers played the Knicks 3 times in a 4-year period in the finals. A lot of people don't realize that.
3, yeah, that's a lot. God, that's a lot.
Well, they played the Celtics more in the 60s. But the Knicks took 2 out of 3. Knicks won in 70 and 73. And the Lakers won in 72.
In 73, the Knicks beat the Lakers again?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
So the Knicks played the Did the Knicks play the Lakers 3 out of 4 years in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a lot, man. That's like Cleveland versus Golden State. It's annoying.
Well, look at the Lakers and Celtics in the 60s.
Yeah, that happened a lot too.
It was ridiculous in the 60s. Almost every year it was Lakers.
It must have been about 8 out of those 10 years, probably.
Well,
seems like it.
67 was the year the Warriors. It was the Warriors Sixers in 67. The Warriors got to the finals like 64, and the St. Louis Hawks were there in 1960. And every other year it was Celtics Lakers. So I think it was like 7 out of 10 years. And if you go back to 59, if you go back to 59, it was 8 out of 10. It was 8 out of 11 going back to 59.
And the same team kept winning.
Yeah.
Celtics. Because there was once the Celtics played the Warriors, and they played the Hawks in 1960. I think it was 64 they played the Warriors, or 63.
Yeah.
But every other year, Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Lakers. Every freaking year.
Well, that happened in baseball too with the Yankees and the Dodgers, right?
Oh yeah, they played
50s and the 40s.
They played it from 47 to 56. They played in 6 World Series.
And the Yankees kept winning.
6 times in 10 years. Although the Brooklyn Dodgers did with 1. They did break through and win 55.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't see it in football as much. But you did have the Cowboys and didn't the Cowboys and the Bills play each other twice in a row?
Yep.
But that's only one of those.
And the Cowboys and Steelers have played each other 3 times in the Super Bowl.
Right, but they haven't played in a row together, back-to-back years.
Nope. It was 10, 13, and 30.
Yeah, in football, there's just more parity, so it's harder for teams to do that. But in basketball and baseball, it's not quite the same. Well,
1972, on December 23rd, an earthquake struck Nicaragua.
yeah. What a way to finish the year off, that tragedy.
Yep, that was a bad day for Pittsburgh. While Roberto Clemence's plane was crashing, the Dolphins were beating the Steelers in the AFC Championship game.
Oh. That was...
Back then, there was no home field advantage. Back then, it didn't matter by your record. They gave out home field on a rotational basis. So the AFC Championship game that year is actually at Sea River Stadium. The Dolphins were down most of the game. Earl Morrall, who had replaced Greasy during the season, because Greasy had the fracture of his leg. Greasy came back in the AFC Championship game, but the big play was a punter sneak, Larry Stiple. The Steelers, on punt returns, would not even put any pressure up there. They would all go back for the return and left a huge wide lane for Stiple to had like a 17-yard gain, and that turned the whole game around.
Ooh, Chuck Noll got outmaneuvered by Don Shula, huh?
Yeah, the punter, Larry Stiple, had a big run that turned the whole game around.
That was the year that the Immaculate Reception happened, right?
Yes, in fact, the week before.
Yes, it was.
On December 23rd, so the day of the earthquake, the Steelers win their first ever.
Although later things like to call it the Immaculate Deception.
13-7. It becomes known as the Immaculate Reception.
Yeah.
So they win their first ever playoff game, only to go on and then lose to.
Yeah, Immaculate Reception.
Yeah.
So I remember, I was that was my first year really getting into sports, 1972.
What? Sports was 1983. Something.
Yeah, that's too bad about Roberto Clemente. So, Tank, tell us again, with our few minutes remaining here before the end of the hour, how martial law is coming into effect from here on in. How's it happen? What's going to spring it? More protests, Antifa,
I tell you.
banning of meat, mandatory.
There was a couple other things in that 72 baseball season. Let's see. Sparky Lyle saved 35 games, which broke the American League record for saves that year.
Well, that was when the save was first coming out. Sparky Lyle was the first player to have a walk-up song.
A walk-up
He
song?
was the first player to request a walk-up song when he came into games.
Oh. And what was that? Was it a specific song?
Pomp and Circumstance, the graduation march.
That sounds
So
weird
he
for
gave
a
it
baseball
to the graduation march.
Yep.
How does that go? I forgot how that sounds.
Oh,
that, yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Something like that.
just doesn't seem like it fits well with a baseball game.
Well, Buffalo used to come.
They weren't rock and roll yet.
And what else?
At that time, they probably was still the organist. I don't know if they actually played music, punk music at that point yet. So it was probably just the organist playing it.
Yeah, the organist. That's right. Yeah. Because I remember the organist used to play Bad Bad Leroy Brown when Lee Stanton used to play for the Angels.
Another one that was an early one that they used to play. When Lou Brock got on bass, they would play the theme from Shaft. Do-do-do, do-do-do-ding.
Well, I remember 1972 because the Pirates had a really good team that year, and they wanted to go back to the World Series, and they blew it against the Reds, and I think the relief pitcher threw a wild pitch that screwed them up.
Yeah, Roberto Clemente got 3,000 hit in his against John Madden, and he never got to hit after that. That was his last official hit.
He finished with 3,000 because of the plane crash. Oh.
Well, the Indiana Pacers beat the Nets in the ABA.
Oh, good for Indiana. It's the only basketball championship they've ever won.
Pacers won 4 championships in the ABA in the early 70s.
What was that?
The Pacers won the ABA championship 3 out of 4 years.
Oh, 3 out of 4. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Basketball never Super Bowl too. Only ever did. So the Nets won 2 of the last 3. The Pacers won 3 out of 3 in the 70s. You had the Kentucky Colonels in 1. The Utah Stars in 1. The Oakland Oaks won 1, and then they moved.
You got the Kentucky Colonels. They won.
Minnesota that won the first one, I think. Or Pittsburgh won it. I forgot who won the first one. Might have been Pittsburgh Pirates, I think, won the first ABA championship.
Really? Pittsburgh?
I think they might have won it.
Oh, well. Yeah, I really didn't keep track of the ABA titles, even though they were.
The ABA was better than the NBA. That's what sucks.
The ABA was great.
Yeah, red, white, basketball.
Yeah, I just the whole thing didn't get enough. There wasn't enough awareness. It just because it's a second basketball league. I mean, it's just
the ABA modernized the game. They had a 3-point shot.
There were things that they brought to the NBA that the NBA really needed.
Okay, the Pittsburgh Pirates won the first ABA championship.
Huh. Well, that's nice to know. All right, what time are we doing? How are we doing on time? 10:04. Oh, we're already over the break time. Okay. Well, we're going to have to go to a break. If you want to we're going to have the second hour coming up. And Frank, thank you very much for being on the show. Frank Fleming from Sports Encyclopedia, Barstool Sports. All right, and we're going to hit our break now, and we'll be right back.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit DefyLifeGear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chabdog said that he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
There, Don Corleone. I need a man who has powerful friends. I need $1 million in cash. I need, Don Corleone, those politicians that you carry in your pocket, like so many nickels and dimes.
What is the interest for my family?
30%. In the first year, your end should be $3-4 million. And then it would go up.
Now, what is the interest for the Tattaglia family?
My compliments. I'll take care of the Tattaglias. Out of my share.
So, I receive 30% for finance, political influence, and legal protection. That's what you're telling me.
That's right.
Why do you come to me? Why do I deserve this generosity?
If you consider $1 million in cash, just finance, salud, Don Corleone.
I said that I would see you because I heard that you were a serious man, to be treated with respect. But I must say no to you, and I'll give you my reasons. It's true, I have a lot of friends in politics, but they wouldn't be friendly very long if they knew my business was drugs instead of gambling, which they regard as a harmless vice, but drugs is a dirty business.
Oh, Don Corleone.
It doesn't make any difference to me what a man does for a living, you understand? But your business is a little dangerous.
If you're worried about security for your $1 million, the Tattaglias will guarantee it.
Oh, are you telling me that the Tattaglias guarantee our investment?
Wait a minute. I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen. But anyway, Senor Sonotsum, I know is final, and I wish to congratulate you on your new business. I know you do very well, and good luck to you, especially since your interests don't conflict with mine. Thank you. Santino, come here. What's the matter with you? I think your brain is going soft from all that comedy you're playing with that young girl. Never tell anybody outside the family what you're thinking again. Go on. Doc, what is this nonsense?
It's from Johnny, starring in that new film.
Huh. Well, take it away.
Take it over there.
And, tell Luca Brazzi to come in. a little worried about this Saluzzo fella. I want you to find out what he's got under his fingernails, you know? Go to the Tatalias and make them think that you're not too happy with our family, and find out what you can.
Okay, we're excuse me. We're back and gonna hit the second hour of Chab Dog Sports Talk.
Easy there, Chab Dog. That COVID's getting the better of you, brother.
It's still getting out of my system, I guess. No, I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
at least I'm not sneezing all over the place. I'm supposed to cough into my elbow, right?
Yeah, is that how it goes?
I thought that's what people were doing.
Into the back of your knee.
Yoga
and cough.
Yeah, the elbow cough.
It's so awkward to have to do that, as opposed to just covering your mouth or something.
Or coughing in a person's face.
Yeah, so we're back with the second hour, and got Brian Keller from Sports Rock, and
once again, our thanks to Frank Fleming of Sports Encyclopedia and Barstool and the New Jersey court system.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think he came around. I gave him a shot there at the end for him to bitch and complain some more, but he pretty much was able to vent all that out. I think it was a cathartic experience for
you think so?
For Frank the Tank there, yep. He seemed a lot calmer there.
He gets much happier when we kind of trick him into talking about sports and something
and
he's
sports
interested
history
in,
and,
as opposed to venting about whatever he wants to vent about.
Well, but the realities that he's facing there in New Jersey,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bleak. I don't blame him. Yeah, New Jersey is. He's surrounded by all these liberals.
It's
and,
been tough everywhere.
And Antifas and
Some people that are liberal would probably say the opposite, but so it depends.
yeah, it's funny. The liberals out here in California, they're getting on Garcetti because he let the police be too violent. And Garcetti's doing the opposite.
He's
so
getting some pushback on this.
He's getting
stuff
pushback
about
from the left.
police,
He's getting
defunding
pushback from the right. It's crazy. Hey, Brian, as a fellow Californian, Brian, you see that Garcetti's getting it from both sides. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah. It's quite a show they got going on.
I mean, he's kissing the left's ass, and yet he's getting it from them too. I can't believe it.
Well, you can't keep everybody happy. That's
This guy
for sure.
is like he can't kiss enough ass to keep people happy. And he's trying. You can see he's like kissing ass as fast as he can, and he's still catching it. Oh, did you see that ad there for Bud Light? Did I put that picture I put out?
I didn't see it.
What?
No.
The lady was holding a bottle of Bud Light, and she had a fuse in it. It was a Molotov cocktail, and she was throwing it from a car.
Oh yeah. Okay, I saw that. I think I put it on Sports Rock.
Yeah, I put it up on Sports Rock. She's throwing a Bud Light bottle. It's like, that's really good advertising there.
The first time I ever saw that word Molotov cocktail was when I was a little kid reading about the Warsaw Ghetto revolt, and the Jews there where they put together a lot of Molotov cocktails when they were fighting the Nazis off for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever read about that? The Warsaw Ghetto uprising.
I have. I've studied that.
Yeah,
that was the use of a Molotov cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow they kept the Germans at bay. I think for
at least 2 weeks,
30 days or something.
30 days, even
off.
longer.
Yeah, something like 30 days, and then it was over.
It was a pretty big area, though. The Warsaw Ghetto. What was the population?
Probably was
30,000 people. It wasn't like a few hundred people. It was thousands. It was a big area.
Yeah.
But a few well-armed Germans. See, if the Jews were allowed to have guns, if they had a Second Amendment, that would never have happened. True. Hey, that's why.
They probably were allowed to have guns.
Well, then why didn't they have them?
I don't know. We've never been really big with guns. We don't hunt. We don't.
I don't know. Charles Bronson seems to prove the otherwise.
The Jews were never allowed to be policemen. I think we had to do things like peddle things on wagons and be the bankers and the
no, comedians.
Maybe the doctors.
Are you kidding? Yeah, the actors and the actresses and the
and
producers.
A lot of Jewish actors.
Yeah, a lot of Jewish producers and directors.
Yeah. So enough about my history. I don't know how we lapsed into that.
Jews, I don't know.
We
just love delis. I mean, I can talk Jewish things all day.
Brian, do you remember the Summer Olympics in 1972? Do you remember all that stuff with the Black September and the attack on the Israeli team?
Oh yeah. Big night that summer, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a clip on that. But,
no, I didn't get a clip on that, did I?
But that was the political stuff.
That was a big deal, though.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time really, terrorism really stepped into the major spotlight there.
We had the raid on Entebbe.
That was later.
That was later. Okay, so it wasn't the same thing.
I think that was late 70s, 78 maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
This was the Munich where but still the Israelis went in and they, they got the perpetrators.
But then some people died. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
It was a regrettable situation, but it wasn't somebody. Yeah, I think they minimized the casualties as much as they could under the circumstances. It was just a shame. Yeah, it was a shame anyone should die, but that's not the Israelis or the Olympians' fault. That's squarely on the terrorists. How's that worked out for Palestine? Huh? How's that worked out for them?
Well, it's still a mess, but
still a mess. It's worse than
Right now, the world's not really focused on that mess. They're focused on other messes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Hong Kong now. Before we usually this gets like the last 30 seconds of the show. But I just want to remind everybody yet again, that Hong Kong is another week lost to us. Here on the 31st anniversary of Tiananmen Square, which happened on June 5th, by the way, which is also the day of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Do you know that? Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I knew it was some time in the late spring or summer.
It was June 5th. I saw the listing here. Here we are. June 5th, 1985, the date that Ferris Bueller's Day Off fictionally takes place, determined by the Cubs game they attended.
Oh, but the movie was made in 1986.
No, it was...
Because I played that movie. I played a clip from that movie.
in the 86 show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost positive that's true.
Okay. Well, then, still the game, though. It was set on 1985.
Maybe they used a game that was in 1985.
Well, I guess that was the game they were attending. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was... Okay. Well, thank you for that information.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of trivia there on Ferris Bueller's
I know
Day.
we can do a little trivia with Brian. Play this song and see if he can guess it. This this is from 1972.
Right,
this is...
Sure.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. It's off of Steely Dan. Steely Dan's first album.
Giving it away there.
Well, no, but let's see if you can name it.
A world become one of salads and sun. Only a fool would say that. A boy with a plan, a natural man, wearing a white Stetson hat.
I think we all know the title now.
On hand that God be gone, there's no one to fire upon. If he's holding it high, he's telling a lie. I heard it was you.
Very familiar, but I don't think I was listening to that stuff back then.
Oh, you don't know this one? This is off of the first album. It's not played a lot on the radio, but it's a great song. It's called Only a Fool Would Say That.
Dragging his feet, don't wanna hear the bad news. Imagine your face.
They could play this at the Trump rallies, right?
Inside his brown shoes.
Yeah.
You do his 9 to 5. Drag yourself home half alive.
Yeah, this was a great opening album for Steely Dan.
Man with a dream.
They had a lot of. The big song was. What was the big song? Going back, Blackjack. Remember that one?
Yeah, let's see what the title is.
Yeah, I don't remember the title of that song, but that was on there.
Do it again, boy. That's a really.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, I remember the hits. I was thinking they sound like them, but I wasn't sure. Don't recall it.
And then Changing the Guard was on that. Midnight Cruiser. You ever heard that one? Oh, it's a great song.
Did you have a tape deck in your Pontiac?
I bet he did.
Or did you have AM/FM radio?
Were you like 15 then? How old?
This is in your Pontiac. Well, you would have played the song.
I was only 7.
Well, I was 6.
Brian's a little farther ahead.
Little.
Were you in high school yet?
Only a fool would say that. Only a fool would say that.
Yeah. That was probably junior high school for you. Maybe high school.
Who, me?
Yeah,
you, Brian. Mm-hmm. Where were you in the 70s?
Oh, yeah, that was, junior high, between junior high and high school. So I finished junior high in 72 June and then started,
right.
Yeah, September high school, yeah.
Damn, those are good years. I would love to be 15 again, 14. I mean, it's an awkward time, but it's like everything's still, everything's happening, and for the first time or the second time, and a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, I believe that was the first. I'd already tried alcohol, but that was the first year I smoked to the bud. Yeah.
Oh, not for me. I wasn't that. I was Lily White pure in high school. I didn't do that. I had to get to college. Yeah. So this is the first year you skip class and smoke pot with your friends or something?
Yeah, well, we didn't have to skip school. I was a good student then, but just started hanging out with the wrong crowd, I guess. No, we were just doing what kids did back then.
Right.
It started to become a movement back then. By the time I had graduated high school in 75, everybody was doing it.
Yeah, I had friends that
pretty much doing it ever since as well.
They would cut class and go smoke and stuff, and I didn't have any conception of doing that. I was always going to class.
And no smoking in the boys' room for you, eh?
Smoking in the boys' room. Did they do this song? This is another one of those 72 songs. You know this one. You can play this one.
There's guitar riffs in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got no choice.
Yeah, Dick Van Patten.
All the girls and boys making all that noise 'cause they found new toys.
What is this
Well,
show?
we can't salute ya, can't find a flag.
That's what this is?
Don't suit ya, that's a drag. School's out for summer.
It's Agnes Moorehead. I don't know who the woman is. She kind of has a Jane Fonda look. This is great.
So he had an excellent band with him at that time.
Didn't he?
Who's he talking about? Oh. Yeah, this was a great song. Tight, very tight. What else did they do that was as big of a hit as this? No Smoking in the Boys Room?
That was Brownsville State.
So what else did our Alice Cooper do?
Welcome to My Nightmare.
The guitar riff?
Which guitar riff?
The famous guitar riff, you said. You said there was something in this.
Oh, it was just that whole riff.
Okay, we're at the end.
So that was brings back memories. My friend of mine, my best friend at the time, bought that album when it came out, and the original album cover opened up like a desk. It had carvings in the top, and at the bottom even had gum stuck on the bottom of on the bottom side of it, and picture, and had a pair of panties wrapped around the record album.
That was how it came?
Yep.
So you got a pair of panties with the album, huh?
Yep.
All right. Times were different. That would not go.
Just
go
some
over
cheap
well
pair of panties, I'm sure, but
Still, it's good marketing, or it was considered good marketing back then.
Yeah. We're watching an episode here of Love American Style.
Oh, they're doing judo on each other now.
Yeah. That girl's pretty cute.
Yeah, I think she wants to do a chokehold now.
She's going to do something to him now.
Watch it. Yeah, they are. They're doing kung fu now.
This is like the Pink Panther kung fu. It's not real serious.
That was a bit racy for TV back then.
This one is anyway. Oh, here comes Agnes Moorehead. Oh, he flipped her over.
She must have been pretty old in there.
Yeah, not long before she died.
She's been on so many things. That really looked like Jane Fonda to me, but it's not
trying to look like that. But yeah, that's obviously not. I've never.
Oh.
I'd like to say a shout out to Anna Kournikova, who's 39 today.
Wow,
she's quite a fine-looking creature.
Yeah,
fine
figure. She
She
was a big deal. Like, was it just? I guess it was 20 years ago. Was it?
Yeah, I guess about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
she was late teens, early 20s.
It seems a lot longer back than that to me. I don't know why, but I associate her so much with like Tracy Austin and Jennifer Capriati, and that's 30. That's but it's more recent than that.
I popped a couple of pictures over on the Sports Rock.
Yeah, no, Anna Kournikova is beautiful. Definitely, probably the most beautiful woman tennis star. Yeah,
Anna Kournikova.
And she's I liked it. Oh, and there's Caretaker. Do you remember him from Longest Yard?
Yes.
That was Caretaker.
That was Caretaker.
And I did a little thing where I made a reference to the fact that Caretaker looked like Bob Lilly, sort of. You remember Bob Lilly?
Oh, yeah.
The hero,
Bob
the hero
Lilly,
of the Dallas victory over Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had that sack that went where he chased the quarterback back about 30 yards and sacked him.
Dick Sargent. Mickey
So, Tink talked about the 1972 season. That was... All right, here's another piece of 72 trivia. What happened in the All-Star game in 1972? That was very dramatic. You remember?
The All-Star game in 72?
Yeah.
Baseball?
It involved the catcher for the A's. Was it? I think it was like a catch. What? I thought it was a catcher for the A's, Ray Fosse.
Oh, 72 All-Star game. That's
yeah. Charlie Hustle.
72.
Pete Rose.
Was that the year that happened?
Pete Rose barreled into Ray Fosse and broke his shoulder or something in the All-Star game in a famous collision at home plate.
Oh, boys will be boys.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me see something here.
I'm jogging his memory.
Let's see.
Almost looks like Bert Cosby. But it's
not. Nope, there. It's 1970. Sorry.
Oh, that was 70?
You were close.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. It was played at Riverfront Stadium, too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose barreled over Ray Fosse to score the winning run.
Yeah, that was like a defining play in his career.
Yeah, and it finished Ray Fosse, unfortunately, or led to his demise. That's how they used to play the game back then.
I should have realized it was 70 because Gene Tennis was the catcher in 72, right?
I believe. Well, 72 was the year that he became a star with that World Series.
Yeah. So
not sure.
Ray Fosse wasn't catching anymore for the A's then. Yeah.
It was also the year of Steve Carlton had an insane season.
Mm-hmm. Was he like 27 and something? 27 and 6 or just another...
27 and 10. He had 30 complete games.
Yeah, and the Phillies.
And
still
the team was 59 wins, and he had 27 of them.
God, he must have had an amazing ERA. Must have been barely over 2 or something.
1.97 ERA, 310 strikeouts.
So did he win the Triple Crown that year?
No, he did not. Somebody else.
Goes to show you how hard it is to win the Triple Crown.
At least somebody else led the ERA, I guess. I'm thinking.
Oh.
Believe it or not, even though he had a 1.97. Let's see.
And that was the year that Bob Moose threw the wild pitch that sunk the Pirates in the playoffs against the Reds.
Yeah. Like I said, that was the first year that I really picked up on baseball. Just toward the end of the season, I started following it, and then that's when I thought, hey, this is a great Cincinnati team, and so I've been pretty much a fan of theirs ever since.
Yeah. That was when it was getting going. But it got going in 1970 because they went to the World Series in 1970, right?
Right.
So
I just wasn't following sports really thoroughly until 72 there.
Yeah.
And Gaylord Perry was the Cy Young Award winner over the American League.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Sweaty Big
And
Gaylord.
Dick Allen was the AL MVP.
Is that
Looks like it. It's Barbara Eden lookalike.
Oh, I like to see.
There's another one of those borderline Hall of Famers, Dick Allen.
Oh, Dick Allen, yeah. There's a lot of discussion about him getting in.
Alan Dick.
Yeah.
Alan Dick. It's a serious discussion. He might get in. I don't know. We Brian and I talk about this all the time. That really does look like Barbara Eden.
He just mixed a beer and a scotch for her.
We're watching Love
Like
American
half and half.
Style.
Yeah, she's a Barbara Eden lookalike. Yeah, look, he's trying to get her like, wow. He mixed beer and scotch, literally.
That's a Boilermaker, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
I don't think she asked for it. Now she's sipping it like.
He's trying to make his move.
Ooh, you guys lips on her pretty quick there. It's pretty risque here for 1971. This could be 7. This is 19. Actually, this coincidentally, this is 72 as well.
Is it?
Yeah, this is an episode.
That's a perfect match.
Mm-hmm.
I could be doing this podcast in conjunction with the Decade Network. Yeah. We talked about basketball some, and the Lakers had that great team. Yeah, you know, that went on that huge winning streak. Who was your favorite Laker on that team?
I always liked Jerry.
Jerry West. Well, and tell me more about him. Like, is there any player now that reminds you of Jerry West in terms of the things that they can do?
A little different than
Jerry West is just what kind of on
I
offense?
like
What was he like? He was a great shooter, right? Great pure shooter.
Yeah, great shooter. Yeah, pretty much.
Is that how he scored most of his points? Was on jump shots as opposed to drives?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those days, you know, they were posting up and feed the ball.
Yeah,
you know,
he wasn't very.
Didn't play that wild, crazy.
He wasn't very tall, was he? He was like 6'4"?
The West. I don't know. Let's see. He just also known as one of those guys that everybody just looked up to, and he was like the captain or the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where old Jerry West. There he is. He's 6'3".
6'3", yeah. He probably had excellent foul shooting percentage, right? Was he over 90%?
Let me see what his stats look like here. He 14-time All-Star. That's virtually every year he played almost, huh? Let's see. I'm trying to look at here. Free throws?
Yeah.
81% career.
81%. Okay, so he was pretty good, not great. Pretty good from the line. Average points was, would guess, 26 a game?
No, not that high.
Not that high?
I should think.
20.4. That's
20.4.
Just
yep.
20.4.
But he was like 23, 22, 21, 22, 21, 21, 18, 19, 22, 19, 20, 18, 16. So he was very consistent right in there.
Yeah. Played a lot of games. Probably handled the ball well, didn't make a lot of turnovers.
We're 6.7 assists.
Yeah.
Those numbers were pretty reasonable back then. So.
I just can't think of anybody that's really like him. right now. I mean, Rick Barry comes to mind, but Rick Barry was, I think, a bigger.
Oh, wait! I got the wrong line. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
you're right. 27.
Yeah, 27. That's huge.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. 27, yeah.
And how many assists?
Let's see. So 6.7 on the assist.
Well,
on February 21st to February 28th, 1972, President Nixon visited China. This is when he met with Mao. And this is what opened up the whole crock of beans that we're in today with China.
Yeah, and it really infuriates me when I hear these people telling me that that's all the Democrats' fault.
Well,
no.
What do you mean? Like that was the open?
Well, there's people that believe that it's for some reason it's the liberal communists that opened things up for China for some reason.
Well, both sides of the aisle got paid off on this.
Well, we had to open it up with them at some point.
No, we didn't.
In 72, you didn't think it was time?
Well, no, it was 72. That was strictly Nixon and Kissinger were doing that in 72 to get under the Russian skin. They were just using China.
Trying to make relations. That got a little frosty when Reagan was in there. But by the time, the...
Yeah, but then the Tiananmen Square stuff, 89.
80s and 90s came.
Yeah, and then we just sort of forgot about... I remember a time when we very proudly would not deal with the Soviet Union because of their human rights abuses. And we'd say, we're boycotting trade, or we're doing this or doing that. And we took actions, political actions against them. And we've let China completely off the hook the last 30 years, people. This is wrong. This is not our way. We need to hold China accountable. And we need to, the same way, no different than we did the Soviet Union for the same human rights abuses. This is
I told somebody I was in a discussion, and I said, you know what? I'd say what it comes down to is Americans and their businessmen are wonderful people there. See a country with almost 1 billion people. That's a lot of product, That's a lot of consumers.
It is, but
it's more than 1 billion.
Selling them Cokes and Pepsis and McDonald's and all that.
It's more than 1 billion.
Well, that's what they sold us on. They said, we'll be selling our products over there. Well, guess what? We're not selling our products. Last 30 years, there have been tariffs and blocks on our products selling over there. So, no, our products don't get sold over there. The way the Chinese have misworked, the way we've allowed them to work the system, they've reaped all the benefits and paid none of the costs.
Yeah, I remember I was all up in arms over the China thing with the NBA last year.
Yes.
I mean, the NBA makes some god-awful $500 million a year. They rake it in from China.
Well, they were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, that's their business model. I mean, that's not, and I think that's a weakness in their business model. And if they're going to be, their game is successful or not because of China revenue, or their league goes down because of that, that's their fault. That shouldn't be that way.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, that's the Brady kitchen.
Yeah, that looked like the Brady Bunch kitchen.
It is.
What the hell? They could at least bother to change the set a little bit. We're watching Love American Style.
Alice looks is a brunette here. It's a middle-aged brunette.
And then you got the Florence Henderson character who's looking pretty good.
But it's not Florence Henderson.
No.
She's got more cleavage. This gal's got way more cleavage.
I know.
Oh, and it's Dick Sargent.
Is that the guy from Bewitched?
Yeah.
It's very funny.
He's gay,
Dick Sargent had...
No, that was Robert Reed.
Dick York.
No, but
Sergeant York.
Sargent's gay as well. Dick York wasn't gay. But Dick Sargent,
Okay, what were you saying, Brian?
So that was in Wayne's World. He goes, hey, Dick Sargent, Dick York, Sergeant York.
Wait, what did Dick York do? What was he famous for?
Darren and Bewitched.
He was the original Darren.
Wait, that's what this guy is, right?
No, this is the second Darren.
Oh, well, I'm just confused by the two dicks.
Dick York was in I know.
Don't quote me on that, but I
Maybe
did say that.
one of your little what do you call those, sound bites?
Yeah, we could save that one.
I'm confused with those two dicks.
Yeah, it's very little.
Because I really can't tell the difference. I don't know if I could pick those two dicks out of a lineup.
One's taller than the other.
They seem like they're the same dark hair, the same thin frame. But that is the Brady Kitchen. God damn it, that's the Brady Kitchen.
That's the Brady
Kitchen. Yeah, so
he gets it on with both those women, do you think so?
We're talking politics here.
Yeah, but I'm distracted by this possible of a threesome. It's called Love American
72, 72 was the Watergate break-in, right?
It occurred in 1972. We didn't know about it till 73, but I believe that was, I can find the
So
date
that
here
was
in
going
October.
on while the Democrats put up their worst candidate in history, or one of the worst, in terms of competitiveness. He didn't.
It's, George McGovern.
McGovern got raped in the election.
But you know what's even more interesting is his choice of a running mate. Remember his running mate?
His running mate was it Eagleton? Who was it?
Yeah,
Thomas Eagleton.
Yes, you are correct.
Eagleton, wow.
But he did not. He was not on the ballot in the end. He had to
retire,
remove himself.
Because what was there was a health
scandal.
issue, the health issue or something.
That he had undergone electroshock therapy for depression.
And but was that, did that have anything to do with, that had nothing to do with Watergate or anything?
No.
How did
that
that
go? The train wreck of a campaign.
How did that get out? That he had the electroshock therapy. They just looked into his background and found it somewhere and lurking in there.
It didn't. The news blurb here didn't explain how that leaked out. It just explained that leaked out.
Wasn't that in terms of the running the Democrat primary? Didn't Muskie have to drop out or something?
It was Thomas Eagleton.
Yeah.
Dropped out.
Something happened to Muskie. Maybe Edwin Muskie. I think he
suffered from bouts of depression throughout his life, resulting in several hospitalizations. Yeah.
So he dropped.
He dropped out, and then Sergeant Shriver.
Sergeant Shriver came in.
And Sergeant Shriver, he's a pretty cool dude. This guy's okay. He's all special.
And he's related to Maria Shriver, right?
Correct. Eunice Kennedy Shriver, husband of Eunice Kennedy Shriver. Yeah, he's part of the clan.
Did you know all this, Brian?
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me. All these names. Yeah.
Can you look up?
It's coming back to me.
Can you look up Edwin Muskie? And because there's something happened with him too. I think he was a contender for the nomination, and he was embarrassed by something. I think
Edwin Muskie. Yeah.
And
sure.
He had to withdraw from the race under. And of course, was that Nixon ran? Well, I guess Nixon ran with Agnew as the vice president, right?
Yeah, Agnew got reelected there.
Yes.
That was before Agnew's fall from grace.
Yes, because of issues regarding the state of Maryland.
And I know, guys, corruption.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down, I bet it says something about what happened in 72.
The Tower Commission ran hostage crisis, Secretary of State. 72 election. Here we go.
He won the Iowa he won the Iowa caucuses.
Yeah. Viewed as a front runner, altered race, governed for South Carolina, dark horse. Canuck letter.
He went on to win the New Hampshire primary, and then there was this letter.
Yeah. The Canuck letter.
Yeah. What does it say about that?
Oh, my goodness. February 24th, 1972, a staffer forwarded a letter For his successful sabotage, blah, 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 disparaging remarks about French Canadians. So what? Called French Canadians Canucks. Called it Canuck letter. So, okay. So
Wait,
what?
so it was something that Muskie wrote?
Yeah. And then something... a day later, the same paper released an article that contained accusatory reference to his wife, Jane, as a drunkard and racially intolerant. Uh-oh. Okay, here's the truth here. He's got nothing to do with no Canuck letters. She's dropping N-bombs. There's the problem. On the morning of February 26, Muskie gave a speech to supporters outside the Manchester Union Leader offices. His speech is viewed as emotional and defensive. He called the newspaper's editor a gutless coward. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then what happened? Then something worse happened there.
Muskie gave a speech during a snowstorm, which created the appearance of him crying. Uh-oh. Okay, that's it.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah. He was caught crying. Yeah, so Muskie later attempted to claim that what appeared to the press as tears were actually melted snowflakes. Snow. That's even worse. Snowflakes. God, we're going bukkake here?
All right, and so the press reported that Muskie broke down and cried, shattering the candidate's image as a calm and reasoned man.
Yeah. Do you know what bukkake means, Brian?
No.
No? Chabdog, can you tell Brian what a bukkake is?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't want to remember.
Well, it's just in reference to the melted snowflakes, but okay.
Well, let's keep reading about Muskie.
There's more?
Yeah. They think that the Canuck letter was a forged document as part of the Dirty Tricks campaign.
Against Democrats. The Nixon campaign. Okay.
Essentially, they screwed up Muskie's life.
Yeah.
All these little dirty tricks.
They tried to connect Muskie's acquaintance with singer Frank Sinatra to an abusive office.
So
Muskie did fly on Sinatra's
the
private
Republicans
plane.
maneuvered it very successfully. That they had all they had to do was beat George McGovern, and that didn't turn out to be too hard.
No.
Yeah. So Brian, there really were dirty tricks going on back then.
I guess the same way that the Trump administration got Bernie.
George Wallace was shot in 1972 also.
Correct.
Oh.
That was,
and he ended up, but he ran in the wheelchair in the election, right? He ran in 72 as a third party. Is that right? Yeah. Or is that 68?
No, it was 72 in a wheelchair.
72, yeah, wheelchair. Yeah, that's when she got shot that year.
But that didn't have much impact on the election at all, right? I mean, it was just because it was such a blowout.
Nixon just still won.
No, he wasn't going anywhere. He was, an outsider, I guess, yeah. Looking for the presidential.
The last Apollo mission to the moon
presidential bid.
December 11th, Apollo 17 landed. And on December 14th, Eugene Cernan, astronaut Eugene Cernan, remember him? He was the last person to walk on the from Indiana.
And then
Hoosier. The last person to walk on the moon was a Hoosier.
Oh, then you also pointed out, Eric, that somebody crashed. There was a plane crash, and the one of the people.
Oh,
it was like there was a survivor. The plane fell from some ungodly.
Plane disintegrated at 30,000 feet.
Yeah,
and she survived in the tail section and crashed. Yeah,
can you imagine that? She was in the tail while it was falling for 30,000
feet. Yeah,
and she survived.
She somehow survived.
Good Lord.
One of these here, but yeah, just incredible. Incredible occurrence.
The first scientific handheld calculator was introduced in 1972. Yeah, cost you $395.
Yeah, what would that be today? That's a lot of money.
Oh, look, Jamie Farr. He shows up here. We could play the. You want to play the clip for the Getaway?
Yes.
That's a great clip. Did you see the Getaway? The original Getaway?
72 movie. Directed by by Sam Peckham.
It's a long time ago.
Steve McQueen. Ellie McGraw.
We'll paint the picture for you. This is after he's robbed a bank and they're worried about it being found out. They need to get a radio before their trip.
Yeah, just to listen to the police following them.
Yeah.
So he's in a small Texas town here.
Drab.
He's getting out in the street. Yeah. It's a
South
Joe
Texas town.
No stoplight.
Probably El Paso.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'd like to have a radio. Portable. All right, sir. We've got them from $15 to $55. Take your pick. Well, $15 job. All right, sir.
It seems a little
They,
expensive
along
for
with two
radio.
accomplices, made off
No,
with
they were
more than
expensive back
3/4.
Big deal, radio. Turn the guy's TV off.
That'll be $15.95 with 60 cents tax, sir. Get your change.
Hands him a 20. His face is up all over the TVs in the shop.
Yeah.
Wanted. Bank robber.
Change, sir.
He's walking away. Steve McQueen walking away.
Love that music in the background.
Now we got trouble. So clear the car.
He tells Ollie McGraw to get out of the car because she was the getaway driver. He's calling the cops. Now he walks next door.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Good
I
story.
want a shotgun, 12 gauge pump.
Sporting goods.
How
Do
about
they
this
sell
one, Eddie?
shotguns
Yeah,
and
that's
dicks
fine.
here?
Sir, you'll have to sign this form here.
Footballs,
You
too.
have a pack of those double-odd bucks.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do, knock a wall down? Sir, you'll have to fill out this form here, sir.
Oh, yeah, you got to register as a gun buyer. So the cops pull up next
You
to
know
us.
what this is, don't you, mister?
While he's
Yeah.
in there.
All right, now wrap that up. Let's go.
Wrap it up.
I don't know where they went to.
Cops are looking at his car. He's going
He's
out.
getting scrapped. I think the boys in the hood would say he just got scrapped.
Operator, give me the police.
The gun shop guy is calling it
There's
in.
this car here, the man there too. You might try down here, right there. I don't know. Oh, where they are? Try that lady right there.
Walk up on the cops here.
Oh, right there. Get those guns out on the street. Kick them over. Now lay down that gutter.
They look like
In the
twins.
gutter.
They're wearing the same hat, the same pants, the same shirt.
You get your face down.
He just has a uniform. Wow. It's about to blow up.
Gas leak fire.
Guess they're not going to be driving around in it. Then she makes him look stupid by backing up.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Flies to the ground. Got a bruise for that.
That's what they say about Steve McQueen. Very cool, but he had his moments where he was like you and me. Stupid things happen to him. And then you just deal with it. And do
That was an awesome scene.
Yeah, we highly recommend that movie. It was a good movie.
Get away.
And the other one we have is a Woody Allen movie. Everything you wanted to know about sex, but we're afraid to ask.
Yeah,
Exactly
I like that one.
Same sort of relevance, that
Well, you missed
affirmative, negative duality that only Proust
Oh, we'll
or
just keep listening to it.
Flaubert could achieve.
I don't know if we're going to make it or not. Doesn't look too good.
I'm a graduate of New York University.
We're going to make it.
And what?
A possible failure, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone can have a fiasco now and then, but a few in a row can lead to a serious loss of confidence.
Yeah.
You can see what it's doing to morale around here already.
Don't worry. We're going to bring this off.
My place or your place. To me, it doesn't matter where we do it. Hey, why do you look so scared?
God damn it! Who flashed the scared expression? Anybody press frightened? No one. Must be a short
Scared?
circuit somewhere.
You can't be scared.
Mission control. Mission control. Prepare for launching. Prepare for launching. It looks like they're gonna do it.
Attention sperm. Attention sperm. Stand by.
Sperm are getting ready.
Here we go again. You think we'll get out this time?
No, I hope it's not another false alarm.
They're having trouble down in engineering. Because I heard it was all mental. You're on my tail. Sorry.
Well, heart factors are all balanced. We could use a little more adrenaline. This is the adrenal gland. We're pumping away here.
Oh, my God. Sydney, can't you wait? You want to do it right here in the parking lot?
Signal the voice to answer in the affirmative.
All systems on the alert. We're going to try to ball her right there in the car.
Ears, quickly, ears.
I've made it in cars before, but always in hard tops.
Prepare for launching.
Brain room to sexual organs. Proceed with erection.
Stop! Let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Come on, get it up.
Get it up, boys.
Oh. All together.
Working a crane. Wow.
Roll out the tongue. Here comes the kiss.
It's a big tongue.
Hang on. Activate pleasure center. Will you please have an erection? What the hell's going on down there?
I know you can do it, boys. Hello. Come on, fellas.
Oh no, it's going backwards.
What's the matter, Sydney?
Don't you like it?
Maintain hands on breasts.
Yes, sir. We're having trouble with respiration.
We're way over the limit down here.
It sounds like
If
a
you're not
code
getting an
red.
erection, something's wrong.
Proceed with erection. All systems go.
There's a flood.
What the hell going on down here? I need an erection. We need more help from the brain room. Have you checked to see if there's any trouble in the stomach?
She is moving on nicely.
It's a mess in the stomach.
A couple of injuries from the veal scallopini, though.
I'm not laughing, Sydney, honestly.
Too much
Now
Italian
kiss me.
We have an erection of 45 degrees. Penetration. Prepare for penetration.
food. It's better than nothing. Yeah, that's so clever. You know,
Yeah.
the body really is. It's a like its own corporation, isn't it?
It's one of the best depictions ever of that occurrence.
Mm.
I don't think I've ever even seen another one for that matter, but if you're trying to describe it in a series of images.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of teamwork that goes into an erection, I think, right?
Yeah, like women don't understand it. Women can watch that and probably still not.
What is this? Was the other movie I saw where the guy said, "Women have it easy. They just have to show up at the party. The men have to show up with everything working in correct order or something." Yeah.
I think we're in Bob Newhart's apartment now.
Oh, that's God, the same. That's Eve Arden. Okay, and then who's the woman? Is that Mary Tyler Moore?
Both women, aren't they?
No, I mean who's the other one? The young woman, the younger woman. Is that Mary Tyler Moore?
No, that's not Mary Tyler.
No, somebody.
That's Eve Arden?
That's Eve Arden.
Really?
That has to be. Yeah. If you heard her talking, you'd know that Eve Arden voice.
Well.
This looks like somebody kind of famous. I really shouldn't.
Yeah, she's got a big name. I just can't remember. I think she wanted to do Dallas or something.
Oh, maybe.
All right.
So we didn't talk about the hockey. That was the Bruins. 1970.
Boston Bruins.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a very memorable series or not, but they won in 6 games over the Rangers. Phil Esposito was playing for the Bruins. He was good. And Bobby Orr. Or was Esposito, was he with the Rangers then?
Yeah, he must have, because we saw him in the fight.
But the fight was later. The fight was like 78 or something, I think.
Oh, it wasn't 72? Oh,
I don't think.
Fight. That was a really good fight.
When was the... Okay, so what do you know, Brian, when the Bruins got into that fight with the Rangers fans at the game?
Ooh, no, I don't recall.
Oh, yeah, you're right. December 23rd, 1979.
79, yeah.
Okay.
In that game, Esposito was on the Rangers. But I just don't remember if he was on the Rangers before or after that date. Like if he was with the Bruins before or after. I want to think it was before. So that Bruins team was pretty good. They had Ken Hodge, and I think they had
Doggy Style.
They had Bobby Orr, Marcotte, Ray Bork. Ray Bork.
A young, very young Ray Bork.
Yeah.
72, Boston, Esposito and Orr, yeah.
Yeah, so Esposito was on that team.
Yeah. Esposito and Orr, they both won the awards.
Oh,
the awards that year.
The MVP award? Oh. For the
oh,
series?
Yeah, whatever they call it, the Art Ross. They called it back then.
I'd call this a threesome.
As a leading scorer, for Esposito, Art Ross, the Hart Memorial.
And the Mormons.
Basically, the most valuable was Bobby Orr.
Yeah, he had a lot of goals in that series. He was spectacular.
Ooh.
And he was just a money player.
I told you it was a threesome. It is. Threesome. American style. Ooh,
I wonder how old she is.
Threesomes, American style.
Must be 70.
No, for at least for a second they were depicting one. Oh, now she went brought her.
Is she supposed to be the mother or something? I'm just trying to figure out what she's doing in this scene.
I don't know. I think she was. She's playing the MILF.
So we're all talked out, I guess, of 1972 sports here.
It's not Barbara Eden, but something like that.
Anything else you want to discuss on the subject?
Can't think of much of anything.
Nope.
I heard you guys talk about Clemente and all that.
No other baseball trivia. Nothing else that happened that year that was noteworthy.
So you mentioned the short season. Johnny Bench was the MVP of National League.
Oh,
Johnny Bench. Good name.
Yeah, he was pretty much the best catcher I ever thought played.
Mm-hmm. Fine aftershave.
And Krylon.
No hits, no runs, no errors.
There's some that argue that Pete probably would have had another 200-hit season. He ended up with 198 in that short season.
Oh, poor baby.
Poor baby.
It still wouldn't get him into the Hall of Fame.
2 more hits wouldn't have done.
No. Yeah. And we went through some of the movies. We played the clip from Deliverance and The Godfather. I'm sure you like that movie, right?
Oh, yeah, those are great. It's almost like those. I have to watch all 3 of them.
I never watched the third one. I don't know what I'm missing with not seeing the third one.
It just seems to all fit together, though.
I still haven't seen all of the first one yet, so.
Really? I've seen the first one and the second one all over and over and over again.
Uh-huh.
I don't even... Did you see the third one, Brian?
Yeah.
And what happens in the third one?
It just goes into more of how what's his name becomes a full-on mob boss, and he
Michael
Al Pacino.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. He basically turns into his father.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that baseball, Carlton Fisk was Rookie of the Year, and John Matlack was Rookie of the Year.
Oh, great players.
Yeah.
Matlack was really good in his. He was good in his own right. He wasn't Hall of Fame material, but he was pretty good, wasn't he? Did he win about 175 games?
Something like that, I think. Where's he at? 125 and 126.
Oh, so he was just 500.
Yeah.
He must have tailed off. Because at one point he was pretty good.
Yeah, him and Seaver teamed up there for a little bit. A couple of years, anyway. Yeah. I was looking at, that was that crazy year that all the 12 pitchers won, no, that was 73, wasn't it? Yeah. Wilbur Wood won 24 games for Chicago.
That was 73, yeah.
Yeah, 72, though, Wilbur Wood and Pete and Gaylord Perry each won 24.
Oh. So it was
and
the rise of Wilbur Wood.
Steve Carlton did win the Triple Crown. I beg your pardon.
Okay, so I was correct.
Nolan Ryan broke on the scene, 329 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And, Haas Cartwright. Remember Haas Cartwright?
Who is he?
Dan Blocker.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Blocker, yep.
He passed away in 1972.
Oh.
Yeah. We lost
Sorry
him.
to hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of that show.
So was he.
All right, well, are we up at 11 o'clock? Where are we now?
It's 12 minutes past 11.
Oh, my God, we blew through it.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to have to...
You really just lost track of time.
I did. I got lost on a time warp. We're going to have to go, so thank you for calling in. Let's grab a song, and you want to do the Candyman?
Sure. It's short and sweet.
Yeah. We need some...
All right, guys, you have a good one. All right, take care.
All right, have a good week, Brian. Thank you, Brian Keller from Sports Rock. Thank you, Frank Fleming, Sports Encyclopedia. Thank you, Eric Sove, co-host, producer.
You're welcome, Chubba.
Soundbite. You didn't do a lot of soundbites today. It wasn't a soundbite day.
It was a China dinner.
Yeah. I'm praying for the Candyman.
Sweet day, everybody.
Yes. Take care. Next week.
The Candyman. The Candyman. Oh, the Candyman can. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Makes the world taste good.
Who can take a rainbow?
Who can take a rainbow?
Wrap it in a sigh.
Wrap it in a sigh.
Soak it in the sun and make a groovy lemon pie. The Candyman.
The Candyman.
The Candyman can.
The Candyman can.
The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Makes the world taste good. The Candyman makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious.
Now you talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Oh, who can take tomorrow?
Who can take tomorrow?
Dip it in a dream.
Dip it in a dream.
Separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream. The Candyman.
The Candyman.
Oh, the Candyman can.
The Candyman can.
The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Makes the world taste good. The Candyman makes everything he makes satisfying and delicious.
Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who can take tomorrow? Dip it in a dream.
separate the sorrow and collect of all the cream. The Candyman. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Yes, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.